So anyway, the story I'm going to want to tell was about this thing that I did when I was. Here's the story basically. I was probably in grade 4 or 5. 5 is not a bad guess. So, how old was I in grade 5? I had my bar mitzvah in grade 8. I was 13, so I started the year at 12. So in grade 5, I would have been 9 or 10. So in my school, West Preparatory School, one of the 3 prep public schools in the Forest Hill system, uh, the school, as far as the doors that we went in, that we considered the front doors, were actually the back doors. There was a front door around the corner, and that door had like a big circular driveway, and the doors had pillars on them, and kind of very formal. Those were the front doors. We never went in those front doors. The principal went in the front doors, maybe. It's like those were the doors, you know, reserved for visiting dignitaries. Um, it's amazing to remember how scared we could be in those days by the rules and the idea of breaking them. You know, I have a set of West Prep rules somewhere in my memorabilia, and there were a lot of rules, like where you could throw a ball and about throwing snowballs, and it was the 50s. I mean, when I was 9 or 10, that was 1961, 62. It was like it was another era. So I was in the choir, and we were slated to perform for our parents, and we were performing on the front lawn. So it was like we were performing in front of the door that the Queen would go in if Queen Elizabeth visited our school. And it's like we were being allowed to step on hallowed ground and perform there, and our parents were going to come there, and it had been built up into a big deal. And I was mouthing off. I don't really, when I was a kid and I was a class clown, I think most of what I said was like comebacks, like the teacher would say something and I'd come back with the line. I don't think that I was like, Shh, Johnny, you want to hear a joke? It was more, and then he traveled to Eurasia, and I'm like, you're in Asia. I don't know that's not like I just think more that my jokes were, you know, quips based on what the teacher said or was going on, not just shouting out jokes. And I don't know why I was a class clown. A lot of the time, I think that there's might have been a few reasons I was a class clown, and they might have had something to do with my father. I think it was partly because in my house, making my father laugh was, the coin of the realm. And I liked making my father laugh. I liked making people laugh. I liked making my classmates laugh, for sure. And then the other thing was that I was a brain. I was smart. I did well in school. I stood second and in my class for most of my public school career, second behind my friend Moses. Sometimes I beat him and stood first, but I would say mostly I stood second behind him. But me and Moses were the smartest kids in the class. We were the smartest kids in kindergarten. We were the smartest kids in grade 1. We were so smart we skipped to grade 3, and then we were the smartest kids in grade 3. I think it also has something to do with skipping and overcompensating, which is something I didn't think about for a long time. But I think that, when you're 7 and everybody's 8, they're a lot older than you. So, I don't know, like how I became the class clown, but I think a lot of it had to do with overcompensating for the fact that I didn't want to be seen as a browner. So it's like I can expiate, I can get rid of the guilt I have for standing first in the class by also being standing first and getting kicked out. And in grade 4, I got the strap, which was corporal punishment, and it hurt, and I was proud of it. And I am proud of it still to this day, 53 years later. More proud of getting the strap than standing first in the class. So, anyway,